Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The Sacramento City Council will please come to order. Would the clerk call the roll and establish a quorum, please?
Vice Mayor Ashby,
I'm here, thank you.
Councilmember Laloe,
Here.
Councilmember Harris,
Here.
Councilmember Valenzuela,
Here.
Councilmember Chenier,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Guerra,
Here.
Councilmember Jennings, Councilmember Vang,
Here.
and Mayor Steinberg.
I am here. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to ask Vice Mayor Ashby if she would please lead us in the land acknowledgement as well as the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure, happy to, Mayor. I am already standing, but if everyone else would like to rise for the opening acknowledgements in honor of Sacramento's indigenous people and tribal lands. To the original people of this land, the Nisenan people, the Southern Maidu, Valley, and Plains Miwok, Patwin Wintun peoples, and the people of the Wilton Rancheria, Sacramento's only federally recognized tribe. May we acknowledge and honor the Native people who came before us and still walk beside us today on these ancestral lands by choosing to gather today in the active practice of acknowledgement and appreciation for Sacramento's indigenous people's history, their contributions, and their lives. All right, Mayor, ready for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, please.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Vice Mayor. Appreciate it. We begin tonight with a special presentation recognizing YPSI on an award of excellence. And who better than the originator of YPSI, our colleague, Councilmember Jay Chenier.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'm really excited about this one. It's one thing when we pass policies or ordinances. It's another when our folks actually walk the talk and really put into practice and implementation the policies and the vision that we have, particularly around young people in this instance. I want to congratulate YPSI. They received the California Park and Recreation Society Award of Excellence for its Parks Master Plan 2040 Summer Youth Outreach in the Marketing and Communications category. So it's a very long name, but there was a lot of work that was involved. So it deserves all those words. The three folks and one consultant that really played an integral role in this is Raymond Constantino, our Park Planning and Development Manager, Dana Repan, I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, who is a Senior Planner, Brianna Moland, who's an Associate Planner, and our consultant on this, MIG Incorporated. Really the goal here was, as we approached a new master plan for our parks, was how best to involve young people and get their vision of what it should be and get their feedback on what we were thinking about doing it. We wanted to really uncover some personal stories about parks and recreation experiences from the young people, gain a sense of the types of places, activities, and programs that we should continue to prioritize, and to promote youth involvement in civic life. And that's such a key here. We need to make sure that our young people are involved in civic life. And I know we're also working on a civic seal around those same goals. This was focused on Sacramento residents between 14 and 24. They developed an art contest called Youth Art Expo, which was Your Parks, Your Future, through a digital platform. We had 61 entries. The contest went out in English, Spanish, and Hmong. And the artwork is being used to promote the Parks Plan 2040, and it may even be featured in the document as that comes out. Our youth commissioners suggested a youth advisory committee to work with the Parks Department on this. 7 diverse youth were important and players in doing this. They provided the foundation for outreach program by collaborating with city staff, promoting and the competition within their personal networks, and then judging the contest submissions. Also collaborated with other city programs, including Summer at Virtual City Hall. All Summer at City Hall participants were invited to submit artwork for the contest. And then there was a speaker series inviting subject matter experts to talk about their career paths, the work they are currently doing, and potential careers in the field of parks and recreation. We want to make sure Mario has great pathways of young people to hire as he needs to replace those who are retiring. And so with that, I want to ask Raymond if he wants to come up and say anything, but I just want to give a huge shout out to YPCE, to our parks folks, really for involving youth in a real and thoughtful manner, not as a token, not going out after them and saying, here's what we did, what do you think? But really involving them in the development of the plan. So Mario, for your folks, thanks very much. And I don't know if Raymond is here, if he wants to say a few words.
Sure. Thank you for that introduction. We're so excited to receive this award. This was a collaborative effort, as you mentioned. It included also, obviously the folks from Youth Division, Monica Blanco and Chris Wimberly and their team, and the Youth Commission. And so it was definitely a collaborative process. We couldn't have done it with the large group that we collaborated with. And we're just excited. We're excited to get this recognition from our organization of peers. And I think this is also kind of opens up the pathways to kind of think about our outreach in the future with the Park Master Plan and other community plan efforts within parks. So we're excited, and thank you for the recognition.
Thank you. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what I've got. I don't know if anyone else wants to chime in.
Yeah. Well, such a young department, you're doing so much great work, Mario. And what you do doesn't always get a lot of attention, but it's really at the heart of our city, because it's about young people and it's about opportunity. It's about the best things in life, or at least some of the best things in life. And we're really proud of you and proud of the work you and your department are doing. So thank you.
Mayor, you've got Sean with his
I got
hand.
Sean. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my participant screen here. Got Councilmember Laloe, Mayor Pro Tem Guerra, Councilmember Valenzuela.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Mario, you and your team have done a great job. In the 1 year that I've been in this office, I've actually seen you guys being very proactive, trying to get the parks up to a level where the community can take advantage of. And even during COVID, I saw how active you guys were as a team, trying to make sure all of our parks are maintained, and your hard work with the youth. I am so appreciative of you and your team and your commitment to our city and your commitment to our parks. And I'm very excited that your department's hard work is allowing us to have our Johnson Park community pool active and open for the community this coming summer. And without you guys, that would have not been possible. So well deserved. And thank you very much for your commitment to the city of Sacramento.
Thank you, Councilmember. Mayor Pro Tem Guerra.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, again, Mario and Raymond and all of your team. You've all just not only on the programming side, but on the planning and also the future envisioning side. I just have to thank you for your consistent work and for going out and actually getting to know the community and understand kind of what their feelings are, and even taking on big things where we never thought we could do anything. The open space over at Oakey Park and looking at how we envision that. The 15 acres of the 21st Avenue, we used to be a rail line. Now, how do we look at that for the future? And even some of our older parks like Lawrence Park, bringing some life to them. I know Councilmember Shamir has put a lot of time and energy in that, and you are all meeting with the community. So just want to thank you again, because particularly in some of our areas in the South area, this brings a lot of joy and energy when things are tough and families can enjoy and recreate. it really brings that hope back to the community. So thank you again for all that great work.
Councilmember Valenzuela.
Yeah, I just want to add in my kudos for the YPC department on this really well-deserved honor. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you over this last year and a couple of months because you are just such great problem solvers, but you're so values oriented. And that really comes through in so many things you do and in no more than this effort you did to engage youth in our parks planning process. You know, I first got involved in community work when I was 13 years old, and I don't think we'll really see the benefit of what you did here for years to come, but know that you've given these young people these tools and you've taken the time to give them these tools through this engagement that will lead to more engagement down the line and maybe more work down the line. It's just really exciting that you took that time, and every single person I've worked with on your team, Mario, Raymond being a star among them, but many others as well, are just so consistent in why they're doing this work and trying to leverage those resources to make as big a positive impact on the community and our youth as possible. And so I'm just really, really glad that somebody else saw how wonderful you are other than those of us who work with you every day. And I'm just really believe in everything you're doing and just this well-deserved honor. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Jennings.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Mario and Raymond and the whole team, YPC, I just want to acknowledge you and lift you up on behalf of thousands and thousands and thousands of young people and all of their prospective parents who, if they could be on this call and they could tell you, thank you for the great job that you've done, they would be on this call making phone calls telling you that you're starting their path to their future. You're giving them the opportunity to lead now, and then you're giving them the opportunity to lead in the future. So they would be on this phone telling you how great you are and thanking you for the path that you've set for them. So just want to thank you for all that you do. You know, we got record number of our parks are being used in record numbers right now. And that's because of the great work that you guys are doing. And, you know, more and more parents are taking advantage of the opportunities for our parks and our community centers. And they're taking advantage of all the great services. And that's because of your team. And so please take the word back to your team that we all thank them for the hard work that they do every single day. And we appreciate them for making this a city that we can all love and live in and want to make sure that we raise our kids in. So thank you so much for all you do.
Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. Raymond and Mario, I've worked with you guys for years, and I'm speaking as a former Parks Commissioner. You know, our park system is actually vital to the functioning of our city. It serves not only youth, but adults, our entire population. And Councilmember Jennings is right, through the pandemic, our parks have become doubly important. Your planning operations are really good. And Raymond, especially kudos to you and your team, you know, for having the vision to come up with a great plan. You know, I love our park system, but frankly, it has degraded over time because we have such an unfunded number of maintenance projects. To keep our parks in top shape, I hope that my council colleagues will agree with me that we need to attribute more money to our park system to serve the youth and the recreational opportunities of all of our constituents. But I can say this, that with the budget that you have, you squeeze out the best product that's possible. And it's because of your love and dedication to our park system. For that, I thank you all. I thank everybody in the YPC department.
All right, Madam Clerk, I think our mayor may have stepped away, so I can't quite see if anybody else is in the.
You got Mario. Mario.
Go ahead, Mario.
Vice Mayor and Council, Mayor and Council, thank you very much for the recognition. I really appreciate it. I'm very proud of the Planning Division team and the entire YPC team, really, because it was a collaborative effort. This award is really significant because it is from professionals within the industry who know our work, understand the difficulty of our work. And so it's especially important there. I am told that we have a CPRS representative on board in case, I know it's a long agenda, but in case you have time, Stephanie Molina, the representative from CPRS, is also online.
Vice Mayor, I would ask that we allow her to speak. I don't think we have a huge agenda tonight.
Sure, we don't briefly, but of course, yes. Happy that you called in. Go for it. Madam Clerk, I'm guessing that's that Davis phone number there that you have.
No, I'm on the screen.
Okay, perfect.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Molina, and I am the awards co-chair for the CPRS Awards of Excellence program. So again, our congratulations on the award. I do have a few quick slides, if that's okay. It's just a little bit showing what the YPC crew did to showcase the city at the recent CPRS Expo and conference a few weeks ago in your lovely city of Sacramento.
We are all about bragging on our
All right.
Parks Department. If the clerk can give you the share capacity, you go for it.
Yep, I think I've got it. All right, I'm going to skip some of this. Can you guys see my screen now?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, well, let's see. Sorry about that. Oh, here we go. I got to get the right one. All right.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so the council member and Raymond gave a really good rundown of this already, so I'm going to make it fairly brief. This is one of the posters that was showcased on site in Sacramento for all of the conference attendees to see. That just showcased the best of the best award winners. The city of Sacramento was one of 8 selected to be honored and awarded for the marketing campaign category this year. And nominations are reviewed and judged by a committee of park and recreation professionals throughout the state. Oh, let's see. I'm hitting the wrong button. I apologize. Well, apparently I am inept at
That's all right.
PowerPoint. There we go.
You
There we go.
one of the examples there. Oh, there they are.
There we go. I got it. I apologize. So the city did represent in the Expo Hall at conference. We have a best of the best awards winners showcase. So out of the 50 award recipients this year, 22 agencies were able to participate, and the city was one of them. So here they are showcasing the project. And then here's a good picture of the crew. And then here's them receiving their physical award. The really cool thing about these awards, they're all individually made by a group of individuals. They're homemade, and so each one is completely different. So even though they all have the same placard information, each award is different. So if you're able to take a look at that in person, it really is a beautiful award. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here to congratulate you in person, and we're super proud of you.
Thank you for choosing Sacramento. We're very proud of our parks team, and we're glad that you see how amazing they are as well. Councilmember Schneer, any final thoughts? And I do believe there's a member of the public chimed in to speak.
No, I just, again, want to say thank you to Mario and to Raymond and their crew, again, for really involving young people. I don't think we would have won the award had we done it like the old way. Our new way should really be with the vision of young people embedded into the actual work that we do. So thank you for doing that. It's an extra step, but well worth it, and certainly paid dividends. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
The whole team. All right, Madam Clerk, do we have is there a public comment on this item, or?
I'm not definitive if it's for this item or not. We generally do not take public comment on special presentations unless you would like to.
Okay. I just can't tell. It's okay. No, we can, let's proceed. And then if that is a person who'd like to comment on this, this will be a relatively short meeting, so you could definitely comment at the end in items not on the agenda. Let's move on to I believe consent is next. Madam Clerk?
Yes, Vice Mayor, we're on the consent calendar. That would be agenda items 1 through 23.
I have a comment on item 3. Not to pull it, comment.
Okay, let me pull up my participants here. And then Councilmember Loloe? You're on mute, Sean.
I have some questions on item number 21. I don't want to pull it. I just want to get clarity on it.
Okay, let's see if we can answer. Councilmember Scheer, you want to make your comments? You're going to leave it on, right?
Sure. Yeah, I am.
Go ahead then.
Yeah, thank you. This is on item C, item 3 rather. And first of all, just a shout out to IEDC. I think they're doing a great job with small businesses. They're a collaboration, I believe, of about 16 different organizations, mostly PBIDs on that. One thing I would like to see though in this, as we're putting the funds out, is we do have small businesses that are not members of PBIDs because they don't exist where the business exists. So a really good example of that, Ms. Valenzuela is shaking her head. It's an area that we share, which is Freeport Boulevard. They don't have a PBID, but they certainly have needs. So I'm happy to move the consent calendar, but add some direction to item 3 that just says that IEDC will consider working with non-PBID members as well as the PBID members, and that they note that in the reports back to us with the metrics that they use.
I think that's great. And I know Councilmember Harris beats the constant drum for Northgate as well for the same reason. So I'm sure that's great feedback. Okay, Councilmember Lalo, you want to speak to your item, and then Councilmember Guerra, I see you. So I'll get you next.
Yes. For item number 21, I just have a question. I guess this can go to our city attorney. For this particular position, is this individual reporting to the council's office, or this individual is the hearing examiner are they reporting to the Office of Cannabis? If we can get that clarity, please.
Yes, Councilmember Laloy, this is the same hearing officer that is reporting to the city council as in the previous one that we had last week.
So based on their work, and who do they come to for information, and who is in charge of this position? Is it the Office of Cannabis, or is it your office?
We are their legal advisors, and so we're the ones that they come to for information about the hearings. We help them with any concerns that they have, but they ultimately answer to the city council.
City council, okay. So
Yes.
there won't be any conflict of interest with them. So they're not required to work directly with the Office of Cannabis, correct? Because that might be a little bit of a conflict of interest there.
That's correct. Right now, OCM assists with the hearings in general to prepare for them, but they respond to the city council.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks, Councilmember Laloy, and thank you, Madam City Attorney. Councilmember Guerra, or Mayor Pro Tem Guerra?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to also echo the questions about businesses outside of the boulevard, outside of the PBIDs, and also to just thank the Sacramento Asian Pacific Islander Chamber of Commerce on this. This is, I also would want to make sure that folks know that this is a huge undertaking for an organization to take on the coordination of a lot of work to get resources to folks in areas that never have received much attention in the past. So I do want to thank again, Pat Fonkushita and her team out there, and all those involved with SACI, IEDC for this work as well. And Tracy Shaw out there, who used to be part of District 6 over here. But I want to thank everyone else. Thanks.
Excellent points. Councilmember Harris, did you want to chime in too?
Yeah, Vice Mayor, I just wanted to thank you for saving me the trouble of bringing up Northgate and the fact that they are outside of the PBID purview, but very important nonetheless. Thank you for that.
All right. Those are all the hands I see from my colleagues, but I do need a motion for consent. Councilmember Chenier, did you want to?
I made a motion.
Okay.
Moved it with the added direction.
Okay.
And second.
All right. Moved and seconded. That's moved by Councilmember Chenier, seconded by Councilmember Harris. Madam Clerk, can you do a roll call vote for us, please?
Yes, Vice Mayor, I do have one caller on the consent calendar. It's a phone,
all right.
Phone number, last 4 digits, 4366.
Okay.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, I'm calling about number 3. As a person whose business was a member of the Asian Chamber of Commerce, that might be shocking to some people, but I was recruited by them. I was there 2 years, and I was impressed with them on what they were able to attain as far as funding. Our business didn't get much, but they were able to get a lot of funding. And I would like to make a statement that I think that the Black Chamber, the California Black Chamber, should receive the same amount of funding as the Asian Chamber, same as the Hispanic Chamber, because as I study this number 3, it says 2.8 million, not to exceed that, and all we hear is about equity studies when it comes to black issues and especially black issues. And so I want to make certain that the city manager, which is involved in this, I'd like to hear what his rationale was, because anytime that it comes to black businesses, core, everybody receiving funding, it's always another equity study. And so I want to make sure this just wasn't sole sourced and we move on. So I wanted to put that into the record. I'd like that to be explained to me. How did they get that in the California Black Chamber of Commerce, which I'm a member of now? So I've seen both sides. So that's what I'd like to hear, some sort of explanation, really from the city manager's office.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Davis. We'll have him reach out and give you background information on how the group was selected. We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Vice Mayor Ashby?
Yes.
Councilmember Loloe?
Aye.
Councilmember Harris?
Aye.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Councilmember Chenier?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Guerra?
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings?
Yes.
Councilmember Vang?
Yes.
And Mayor Steinberg?
Yes. Please continue, Vice Mayor.
All right, Madam Clerk, you want to call the next item for us?
Thank you. The next item is a public hearing. Item number 24 is ordinance listing 2701 E Street as a landmark on the Sacramento Register of Historic and Cultural Resources.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Vice Mayor, if it's okay with you, I'd like to open
right
and close the public hearing and move this forward. Thank you, Sean, for your work on this.
Scenario seconds.
All right, I think you
Sean,
have multiple.
second.
I think we have multiple seconds
second.
there for Councilmember Valenzuela. We will take it. Thank you to staff. We know you prepare these reports for us, and we really appreciate you. Madam Clerk, I don't see any raised hands. So if you would take the motion from Councilmember Valenzuela, I think the first second came from Councilmember Chenier, and call the roll.
Thank you. To confirm, Councilmember Valenzuela, you opened and closed the public hearing, correct?
Correct. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you so much. Vice Mayor Ashby?
Yes.
Councilmember Loloe?
Aye.
Councilmember Harris?
Aye.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Councilmember Chenier?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Guerra?
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings?
Yes.
Councilmember Vang?
Yes.
And Mayor Steinberg? Mayor Steinberg is absent.
I'm not sure if he's in right now, but we can keep that item open if he comes back in the next couple minutes. Madam Clerk, would you take us to the discussion calendar?
Absolutely. The next item is item 25, approval of personnel resolution covering unrepresented officers and employees, the employer-employee relations policy, and the citywide salary schedule.
All right. Do we have a presentation from a staff person here?
Yes, ma'am. Aaron Donato, your labor relations manager. Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council, and Mayor and Council. I'm standing in tonight for Shelley Banks Robinson, your Human Resources Director, and I have a very short presentation for you. This item comes before the Council as a discussion item because California Government Code Section 54953 requires that prior to taking final action, there must be an oral report with a summary of the recommendation for final action on salary schedules, compensation paid in the form of fringe benefits of a local agency executive during the open meeting in which final action is to be taken. The local agency executives included in the report are the department head titles shown on attachment 4. I think that's page 72 of the 200-page PDF that you have. And the red line salary changes are there. And then I'm sorry?
That's okay. Go ahead. Is there more to your presentation?
Just very briefly, the additional attachments that you see align the unrepresented staff with our represented staff and benefits.
Very good. While it is on for discussion, we do need to adopt a resolution, so we could entertain a motion if one of you is so motivated.
So moved, Madam Vice Mayor.
Second, Madam Vice Mayor.
All right, moved and seconded. We do have, I believe, Mr. Davis up for comment. Madam Clerk.
Phone number, last four digits, 4366.
Yes, I'd like to comment on what was just stated. Anytime I hear the HR director, Shelley Robinson, mentioned, it brings up an alarm in my head because she was the one who was subjected to the H&R racist scandal, which involved Barnum and Bailey. It was I never knew much about Barnum and Bailey until I actually heard about that scandal. It involved the current city manager and some of his staff members. So when I hear that name, I want to keep that as a focus to the mayor and the city council. That was a very cruel episode in the history of Sacramento's city manager's office. That was very cruel. I actually learned that Barnum and Bailey did an autopsy of an elderly black woman when she was alive, and he sold tickets to it. I never heard of that. So we decided to boycott Barnum and Bailey and any of those other circuses that come anywhere near Sacramento. But I wanted to keep that fresh on the city council of what happened at City Hall. It's good to keep that fresh on your minds so you don't become complacent. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Davis. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Ashby,
Yes.
Councilmember Laloe,
Aye.
Councilmember Harris,
Aye.
Councilmember Valenzuela,
Yes.
Councilmember Chenier,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Guerra,
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Councilmember Vang,
Yes.
and Mayor Steinberg.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Right in the nick of time.
Mayor Steinberg, we left open the roll on item 24. Would you like to submit a yes vote on?
Well, thank you. That was very gracious. I really appreciate it. Yes, I'll add a yes vote.
All right. Then, Madam Clerk, I will surrender the meeting back to the mayor for item 26, the Department of Community Response River District Clean and Safe Pilot Program.
Okay, thank you very much, Vice Mayor. Is Bridget Dean here, our Director of Department of Community Response?
I am here, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome. Please take it away. We're excited to hear.
Great. Thank you, Mayor and Council. So tonight we're going to be presenting you with a short presentation and video on a pilot program that we started with our River District business partners and Jenna Abbott when DCR rolled out about a year ago. I want to briefly say that this is just an example of the amazing partnership we've built with the River District and Jenna and DCR, addressing the needs of our individuals on the streets who are experiencing homelessness, mental health, and other crises on a daily basis. So I want to thank my staff who have worked diligently on contracts and other to make sure that we're able to provide the support. I want to thank the council for your continued support as DCR engages with our community-based organizations and businesses to bring support to individuals on the streets. And I am going to ask Greg Fishman, who is our Department PIO and Communications, to give you a brief overview, and then we'll show you the video and have other comments from Jenna. Go ahead, Greg.
Thank you, Bridget. Council and Mayor, it's a pleasure to join you this afternoon, especially over this program. I'm sure that all of you at one point or another have had constituents say to you, why can't we just put people who are experiencing homelessness to work cleaning up the streets. This program does exactly that. And I'm not going to say too much more about it. I do want to show the video. And then, as Bridget said, Jenna Abbott will have some comments and will be available to answer questions. But I do also want to thank Rochelle Martin in the city manager's communications office, who was instrumental in putting this video together. She did a great job. And let's go ahead and roll the video.
When Bridget Dean and I had a conversation, and we were talking about the unique challenges that the River District has and how homelessness is our biggest problem, and we really wanted not only to be able to impact the River District, but we wanted to be able to impact the lives of the people who were living on the streets in the River District. What would it be like if we were able to hire folks who were emerging from homelessness to teach them some job skills and also put them on the street interacting with their peers so that they could offer help now and again? That's how the program got started.
By Jenna giving me this job, I'm able to function better and look forward to a better future. And I get to help clean up the part of Sacramento that is neglected all the time.
This job totally turned my life around. I was homeless with some of these people at the same time too. I now have housing and getting back into the working force, and you know, I come every day no matter what. It's great. It's rewarding to tell you the truth.
You know, now I can look forward to doing better for myself and also helping the community clean up this area.
We have seen the amount of garbage that we take off our streets really increase. And in fact, not too long ago, I got a voicemail from someone who is a bus driver who said in great detail what a big difference this program has made for her.
I just wanted to call and say thank you for cleaning up the Richard Boulevard area. I saw somebody out there cleaning it. I wanted to stop and tell them, but I'm in a big bus, so I couldn't do it. So I just wanted to say thank you so much.
It was important to us because of the synergy and the idea of the whole district coming together and working together for a cleaner, better neighborhood.
The pilot project we have been engaged with the River District Partnership has been crucial to establishing a new model of addressing the issues and concerns that we are experiencing in the city related to homelessness. Long-term goal of this pilot would be to prove that the
We have a tech problem.
Apparently so, Mayor. I'm sorry. Can we get that back to finish just the last minute or so?
Of course. Let's try to take a moment, be patient.
Thanks, Mindy.
So that is the completion of the video that I have.
Okay, well, it doesn't finish quite like it did on the screen, but I guess I would add one thing that the crawl on the screen as it opened said that they've picked up 120 tons. And in the intervening weeks since we did the interviews and started producing the video, that number is now about 150 tons. And Bridget, did you want to finish your thought that was on screen about how this program could be replicated?
Yeah, so real briefly, the goal of this program is to create a pilot that we can replicate throughout our city with our business districts and our community-based organizations working directly with us. Again, the funding that the council recently approved for DCR to fund community-based organizations to work with us directly will be a part of that process. And with that, I think I'll turn it over to Jenna Abbott, who's available to just make a few quick statements about the program. Go ahead, Jenna.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor and Council, and thank you so much, Bridget. You and your staff have been amazing through this pilot. The River District, as all of you know, has unique needs and challenges, and I, as probably most of you know, tend to be a big idea person, and I feel like I met my soulmate in Bridget. I threw a lot of ideas at her about potential partnerships, and to her credit, she was very willing to take a risk on this one. And others with me. So this program has been really transformational for a couple of lives in the River District. I'd just like to share a couple of facts with you, and then I'll make myself available for questions. Three of our staff were living at the North 5th Street shelter. 2 of those 3 have moved themselves out of that shelter. 1 found his own housing. All it took was 3 paychecks, and he was able to move himself into a shared room. It's not a perfect situation, but it's better than being in the shelter, and he's delighted. The second was offered permanent supportive housing, and we were delighted, and he was delighted. I do want to share with this council, though, that permanent supportive housing is a conversation that we need to have, because essentially I would like to promote this person. I think he's got a lot more in him than what we're using him for, but I can't, because I can't pay him anymore. If I pay him any more than what I'm paying him, he loses his housing. So we need to address that. And I realize that this is probably a state or federal thing, but we do have to address that. But I am delighted at how this program is working. You know, I am not going to tell you that there aren't days when it's very frustrating. You have to be very flexible, but it has been transformational, both for the River District. I know it sounds terrible, but the fact that we are picking up more garbage is actually a really good thing. And I know it's been transformational for the lives of the people whom we are employing. You heard that for yourself. So with that, I would just open it. If you have any questions for me, I would be happy to answer them. But I would like to thank all of you for your trust. This program is funded partially by the city and partially by 29th Street Capital and partially by the River District. So it's a true public-private partnership. We all have some skin in the game.
Thank you, Jenna. Thanks, everybody. That's it, Mayor, on our end.
All right, good. I just see Councilmember Harris. I just want to see if there's any public testimony. Is there?
Mayor, I don't currently have any hands raised from the public to make comments.
Councilmember Harris, and I'll make a comment. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, I don't think there's anybody who could be more delighted than myself to see the River District look better than it has for a long time. We've done other projects in the past, however, like the Pit Stop program, which was pretty successful, but pretty costly, and Downtown Streets team, which was a contract that we let out that did a very similar sort of service in and around the River District. So Bridget, I wanted to ask you, how does this program different than what we did with Downtown Streets team? Do you think it's more effective? Is it cheaper? How is it working by comparison?
By comparison, it is costing us less, but more importantly, and Jenna can speak to this directly, she's actually paying a good wage, and the individuals who are working for us are working full-time and making full-time income. And that's the difference versus the street team program that was present.
Yeah, right. The streets team, basically people got
gift cards. Some kind of gift card. Yeah.
So it wasn't really real remuneration that could help lift their lives in a substantial way. So this is looking like a better project.
And if I could just add to that, Councilman Harris, not only are we paying a living wage between $15 and $18, and I would like to pay more, but I'm limited by what people can make based on their benefits and so on. But we're also offering paid vacation. We're offering benefits if those are necessary. We offer paid time off. So it really is, and we have expectations. With this, this is a job. It's full-time employment or part-time employment if part-time employment is what you can have. So it is very different from the Downtown Streets team. And what I will say is that the Downtown Streets team has been a great place for us to hire from, because those folks are getting the training. What we can offer is the actual pay that should and does go along with these jobs.
So Jen, one last question. Who is the actual employer? Who is paying these people?
The River District is the actual employer. The support comes from 29th Street Capital and the city.
Well, let me just thank Kevin personally right now for pitching in. I think it's great. And thank you all for your efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Valenzuela.
Thank you. I'm still giggling over here about your comment, Jenna, about how you and Bridget are soulmates, because I like 100% agree. I think that it really took a level of tenacity and creativity to push this forward. And it's just so exciting to see those testimonials and to hear some of that information. And I want to like riff a little bit off of what you were just saying, because I think two things. I mean, one, this is sort of a theory of thought around high road jobs, right? Like instead of this race to the bottom, how do we save as much money and get as much done as we can? If we pay people well, it really has that extra impact in a different way, you know? And so I'm really excited that you've taken the risk on this model and that it's proving valuable. I would also like to consider for direction, because I don't know if this is in our legislative platform already. And so maybe a note for Consuelo, and we can follow up later around addressing what you're talking about with the benefits, because it is, the income levels are way too low for those. And you shouldn't, like, making, you know, over that threshold means you're losing thousands of dollars potentially in benefits a year. And it doesn't make sense. It's been a challenge that's been around since I was using different programs when I was in college. So it's just like, to be able to really address that should be, and you're providing this really fantastic model and story for us to take to the Capitol to say, this is what we want. This is what we want for everybody on our streets, everybody who's having a hard time, but we're hitting up against this policy barrier that I'd really like to see the city take an active role lifting up this story to try to advocate for that, for those policies to change. And I know we have a lot of champions in the community who've been fighting for that for a long time, who are glad to join us there. But yeah, I just wanted to say those two things, and just how thrilled I am that you two women just knocked this out of the ballpark on your first go here, and how excited I am, especially, you know, my Vang said this the other day, and I think I've repeated it like 10 other times since then, that those who are closest to the problems are closest to the solutions. And I really think the River District and your leadership on this issue is going to set such an amazing foundation for across the city. And we really need to figure out the question in the River District of how do we shelter more folks that are up there, because I know you've been such a champion for that, Jenna, and I'm truly committed to seeing that through, because you have housed so much of our shelters, so much of our services, but we're not always getting those folks off the streets in front of those shelters and services into those programs. And so we need to now meet you halfway, I think, in terms of those policies and that commitment. And definitely, I know the mayor and I will be talking to you more about that in the very near future. But thank you for being willing to stick with it and to work on this. I think it's really incredible what you've accomplished here, and commend you and Bridget and the whole DCR team for all you've done.
Well, thank you, Councilmember Valenzuela. The interesting part, or one of the interesting parts, was when we first launched this program, we couldn't hire people for love or money. We were having a really hard time. There was a lack of trust. But once we got our first person, word got out. And I think probably twice a week now, we have someone show up at our office saying, I heard you have jobs and I would like a job. Sometimes we can hire them and sometimes we can't. But we definitely have seen that trust bubble grow. And I really appreciate you saying that about Bridget. She's a gem, and she's been really great to work with. She's been the model of, let's figure out how to get to yes.
Absolutely. And I love that you say that, because I have another saying that I like to say, which is that I think unhoused people almost have less trust in the system than housed people do. In our services system, they've been burnt and had broken promises and been in and out. And so I think that trust you're building, when we walked around on the point in time count, I think I sent you at least one selfie when I was out there at 9 p.m. on North Beach Street, walking around and chatting to folks. And you could really hear and see the shift. People were like, does this mean I'm going to get into shelters? Where's the survey information going to go? People are ready for change because you've shown them a little bit that more change is possible. And so lots of credit for that, and really value the partnership the River District has with the city, and looking forward to seeing that through till we see more of a difference in that area.
Great. And thank you also for your words about, our specific challenge with most of the housing, but not much luck using it ourselves. So I will definitely take you and the mayor up on your offer for that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Guerra.
Thank you. Jenna and Bridget and all of your team, I think the fact that you've shown results, and I think is important. It's a good test case, and Sacramento should always be trying to show that. And it's uplifting that I think we just had an item earlier supporting the business improvement districts. And so figuring out not only are we for doing the work for economic development on the business improvement districts, on the clean and safe side, this is a good, it shows a good model where we could also fill some of their needs as well. I also want to, bring back that there are other organizations who have some of this expertise as well. And I want to bring back, the conversation with Pride Industries, because they also have done this type of work. And the late Mike Ziegler obviously, had an interest in helping folks who had different levels of challenges. And so I think that we should revisit also supporting and working with organizations like Pride Industries, who already contract with the city as well. They already and they have also a broader breadth of employers. So while we can definitely use the work with our PBIDs locally in our commercial corridors, I do want to ask that to the city manager and to our team that we also look at also those organizations that have relationships with other employers and that are used to working with individuals who may have substance abuse issues, who may have other disabilities or other ways to help them back on their feet. And I just can't thank enough the work that Pride Industry does as well, to think about that as a model as well. But again, I think what we've seen today is that the River District and with your team, Jenna and Bridget Dean, that this path to a living wage, the path to not just the gift cards or whatnot, but actual looking at the wage issue is a path out of poverty. So, and a path out for independence. So thank you again.
Thank you. I just want to say how wonderful and rare it is to have an entire city council item on homelessness that is positive news. It just thrills me. Let's stay on together till 9 o'clock and just keep talking about it. It's great. And it shows what we can do with will and with the right organization and the right kind of partnership. And I'm just grateful, Bridget, to you for taking this nascent idea of a Department of Community Response and building it. I know with some stops and starts along the way, but this is, exactly what we want to do. In Jenna, despite having the most impacted area of the city, arguably, for never giving in to cynicism, frustration, yes, but never giving in to cynicism and continuing to work for solutions. My council colleagues, the same. I mean, the question of housing and shelter, it's obvious. We know it's out there. I would just, once again, put in my little pitch for when are we going to grab the moment and actually invest in more modular housing to scale? Since we can't build conventional housing fast enough, what are we doing to build more tiny homes and modular housing to scale so that we can at least begin to answer for the medium term how to help house people permanently? And then the other question, which is, I guess, sort of the obvious one to me, if this is working so well, which it is, how do we replicate this in other parts of the city? Where's the budget? I want the spreadsheet, the budget, what it takes, the personnel, because we ought to be plugging and playing the successful approaches and strategies here, and have the get up and go to do that, and the organization to be able to do that. What do you say to that?
I love the idea, and I know Jenna and I can easily put together what it's costing. From our city perspective, Mayor, it's right around $250,000 a year for this program.
Okay. And, as we again continue to evolve that partnership with the county, there's no reason why we cannot potentially add funders here. And 29th Street, we've had some real positive experience with. Kevin, I mean, as one business stepping up, the business community asks all the time, how can we be of help and specific help? We've talked a lot about that, and they've had a bunch of, community meetings and workshops. Well, here you go. This is a great way to step up and to help us.
Your comments, Mayor Steinberg, are bang on the money. I went to Kevin and said, I've got funding for staffing I need equipment. And I need something that I can train. I need a job skill that I can train. And Kevin stepped up and said, I'll buy your equipment and I will enter into a contract with you to do landscaping maintenance so you can teach these folks how to do that on our parcel at Township 9. So as Township 9 develops, and I hope that will start to happen very quickly. I know that they're working their way through planning, and I'm super anxious to see dirt move around over there. And if I don't get invited to the groundbreaking, I'm going to be cranky. So I'm excited to see the ground start to move around over there. And you know, it's visionary leaders, business leaders like Kevin, who step forward and say, you know, not only do I support you, but who do I make the check out to? That's where stuff gets done. And this, you know, I said this earlier, this is truly a public-private partnership. The River District has skin in this game. We have our own money in this game. So, you know, the business owners, property owners in the River District are contributing, and then the city and 29th Street Capital. It's not to say that there aren't moments where it's hard, because it is, but it's definitely doable, and we can replicate it, and we do know what it costs.
Thank you. Councilmember Laloe?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, what can I say that the mayor and the rest of the colleagues haven't said? Thank you so much, Bridget. Thank you so much, Jenna. And I want to make sure I heard you correctly, Bridget. You said this program has a $250,000 annual cost?
Our city portion of this is $250,000 a year, council member. Yes. Very, very low cost in the scheme of things
Very
for the
reasonable.
number of folks that we are supporting.
That's about a fifth of what we pay some of these consultants to come and give us these ideas. So I'm so grateful to you guys for doing this. And Jenna or Bridget, if you can contact my office about this program, I like to get some of the business community involved, and maybe we can roll this out in my district as well. So
absolutely,
I really
Councilmember.
appreciate it.
We can bring the information and even do a presentation with you and others if you'd like.
I appreciate it. And, you know, it makes me feel so great and so proud to be on this council that it took us roughly about 15 months to talk about unhoused topic or issue where we're all so happy and we're like high-fiving each other and we're kind of agreeing and giving each other props. But Bridget, Dean, thank you so much for what you're doing. I know sometimes it gets rough. Sometimes you get some of those emails that are right to the point. But truly, I do appreciate the work that you've done. And Jenna, thank you so much for bringing this and using your district as a protocol to show that it works. To kind of finalize my comment, I think I'm hoping that the residents, or you know, some of the residents are listening to this. And Jenna made a very interesting comment that some of these individuals can make more money to get back on their own 2 feet. However, because of a broken system that we have at state level and probably at federal level, we're not allowed to do that. So this is the part that becomes very frustrating. And I know some of the residents that are listening and they're so quick to call us and say, why aren't you doing enough? I hope that they've listened to this, and it's time to call our elected legislative at state and stress how important it is for this community to be able to work full time and still get their, subsidy or, federal insurance or what have you, so they can get back on their feet and get their life going. So great job, guys. Grateful to both of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, terrific. Why don't we get some kind of report back, if we can, Bridget, please, about city manager, what it would take to plug and play in other parts of the city and have that blank spot for business leader or business leaders to so that the council member or the mayor, the city manager, or you can go out and make that solicitation. Be great.
We can do that.
I'd like to nominate District 2 as the next protocol for this project. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, we got you high on the list. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you. Thank you again. That concludes the agenda for the evening. Is there public testimony on items not on the agenda?
I do have hands raised to make public comment from items not on the agenda, and I do have some board and commissions to read into the record.
Hey, how many people are signed up?
I have 2 people signed up to speak.
Okay, why don't you read the boards and commissions first, and then we'll go to the public testimony.
Thank you. So appointments to the Compensation Commission is Tiffany Fink. To Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Commission is Sajaban. To the Sacramento Disability Advisories Commission is Zachary Bonney. To the Utilities Rate Advisory Commission is Jill Zito, Ray Vanderwerf, Connie Perkins-Gutowski, Philip Thomas, and Pete Anthony Thomas. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Let's take the public testimony, please.
First caller is phone number, last 44366. Mr. Davis?
Yes, this is an announcement that might bring tears to people tonight. It won't bring tears to me, but the Davis family and to the Bay and Back Cheesecakes and all of the people in this city of Sacramento who helped keep us alive during this pandemic as I struggled to get money from the city manager's office. Today, we received from a lady named Julie, I can't even pronounce her last name, Garbo-Gian, from the records department. She confirmed today, and I feel vindicated. That's why I'm not crying like my family members who made so many sacrifices to keep us alive because of this. But she sent confirmation that the city manager had sent a memo to the mayor and the city council, but he had not CC'd it to me, and we received it today. And everybody cried except me because I knew I was telling the truth. The Brown Act has been violated. The Proposition 209 has been violated based upon this. And that's why I'm not crying, because I had to keep this business above water while I pursued this. And so I want to thank Julie from the records department. She doesn't know what she did to help me, because when I read it, the city, the mayor and the city council, you should study this because it has confirmed it. I have people close to me that have put up major money to keep us alive, and they didn't question me. And by the way, last Friday, somebody who celebrated their 100th year anniversary was an investor with us years ago, and he's made a few phone calls because of what I've had to endure. And it looks like we're going to do some major business. But I wanted to go on the record to say
Thank you for your comments. Your time
cruel.
is complete. Will you make your final comment, please?
It's been very cruel what they did to us.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. And Julie is in my office, and I will let her know you appreciated the response. Next speaker is Matthew Winters.
Hello, Council and Mayor. My name is Matthew Winters. I am a citizen of District 7. First off, I just wanted to commend the city on item 26. I think that is a brilliant plan, and I hope that it expands further. I really, truly appreciate all of your comments. The reason I'm speaking today is just to follow up on an item that I had spoken about on February 1st, which was gasoline leaf blowers. I realize this is not a major thing at all with regards to the city and the issues that it faces. However, I just wanted to follow up. Thank you, Councilmember Jennings, for your staff in assisting me in getting some attention to the complaints that I had. I will say that they did come out, and I got some pushback from the code enforcement officer who said that, that their priority is health and human safety codes, which I reminded him that this was a part of the health and safety code. He also stated that this is a first world problem. I do truly hope Sacramento can remain a first world city. That being said, I did a public records request from the city to determine the number of citations that have been issued by the code enforcement department relating to the use of leaf blowers, the hours that they can be used, the noise levels, as well as the air quality index from January 1st, 2018 to January 1st, 2022. The number of citations that have been issued related to gasoline leaf blowers in the city in that 4-year period was 0. There have been no citations issued by code enforcement. The amount of pushback that I had received just in regards to getting some attention to this just on my single street was immense. I truly hope that citizens do not have to come to the city council, have to submit more than 10 complaints and just go out of their way every day to get some attention on this. It is truly an environmental issue, and I hope the city can respond to it in kind. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments, Mayor. I have no more speakers.
Right, thank you. We do have a couple of council members. Vice Mayor Ashby.
Thanks, Mayor. I have a close and adjournment or adjourn in memory of, but I need to go. So I'd like to say it now and then I'll probably log off, and Mayor, hopefully you can take it from there. I know at least one of these individuals is your friend as well. So first of all, I had a community member reach out to me and ask me to acknowledge and honor former Twin Rivers Unified School District board member, John Dexter. Not somebody that I knew, but it was very important to the community and had a lot of friends and support. And so I just want to make sure that we honor that service that individual put towards helping our kids and our schools. And then a person that I knew pretty well, Congressman Vic Fazio. And we all have mentors in life. My mentor is a lady named Betsy Marchand, and her political best friend is Vic Fazio. And they did a lot of really strong work together, including creating a really incredible YOLO bypass that I think will go down in the history books as one of the best land use projects in the country. It, of course, is the part that you drive over when you go on the causeway, and it's used for farming, and it also is used for animal preservation and flood control and environmental education. So all of that is really the brainchild of Congressman Fazio, who passed away in his Washington, D.C. home last week, and was an absolute titan for this region. I know he was very good friends with the Matsui family as well, and served during the same time as Robert Matsui. And the two of them were widely known for bringing back lots and lots of funding for Sacramento. I know he was very important to my mentor, Betsy Marchand, and I would love it, Mayor, if you would close out tonight in his honor.
Of course. Thank you. I know you have to log off. I'm going to just pick up on that and turn it over to my colleagues. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Vic Fazio was a giant. He was a giant in this region, and he was a giant in this country. He was the epitome of a politician in the best sense of the word. He was constituent driven. He was decent. He was a problem solver. He was trusted. And he was the go-to for more than one more than one of our country's speakers to wade into the most difficult areas of public policy and come up with solutions. And he was just fundamentally decent and really took it upon himself to mentor younger people who were coming up after him, including me. I benefited from a lot of really important conversations with Vic. He had a very loyal staff, including my longtime district director in the legislature, Susan McKee. And he was a dear man. It's a big, big loss. So thank you, Vice Mayor, for adjourning in his memory. I join you. I turn it now to Mayor Pro Tem Guerra, Councilmember Laloe, Councilmember Harrison, the city manager, Howard Chin as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too would like to, acknowledge the adjournment of Congressman Vic Fazio. I didn't get a chance to know him, but my mother, got a chance because he would, invite farm workers out and talk to them. And there's a photo that we have of a number of farm workers, women who he invited out when they inaugurated the Vic Fazio highway on 113 in Yolo County. But out in the rural area, everybody remembers him. Being able to reach out to, as you said, Mr. Mayor, very constituent driven, and particularly for those in much need. So appreciate that adjournment in memory. I have a few announcements here, Mr. Mayor. we're starting off our office hours again here at Tahoe Park. We do them the fourth Friday of every month by hosting our monthly food truck event. So we'll be having food trucks at Tahoe Park. Our team will be out there doing constituent work with them in partnership with the Tahoe Park Neighborhood Association, Supervisor Phil Cerna, and County Board of Ed Trustee Bina Lefkowitz will be out there, answering questions for constituents, but more importantly, also raising some funds for our community schools there. So that's 5 o'clock at Tahoe Park this Friday. That following morning at 9 o'clock, the Tahoe Park Neighborhood Association is doing a community park community beautification. We encourage everyone at the food truck event to clean up after themselves, but we're also going to be doing a cleanup after that on Saturday morning, and also giving a little bit of TLC to the park. So we're looking for volunteers to join us at 9 a.m. at Tahoe Park on Saturday. Following that, the Tahoe Little League will be starting their opening day and their parade at 10 o'clock from Tahoe Park all the way to the Tahoe Talik Little League field that Mayor Steinberg was involved in making sure that got built when he was council member in District 6. So appreciate that. And I do want to thank our Parks Department again, because over the years it needed a little TLC as well. And a lot of investments through Measure U have gone in there to improve that area, improve the sprinkler system, and making sure that the fields also look pristine and safe also for the kids to run in from all the gopher holes. So want to thank our park staff and everyone involved in making sure that Tahoe Talik Little League opening day is a success as well. On Sunday, not in our district, but in District 4, want to invite folks out to the Art of Low Riding over we met with the Low Rider Commission yesterday evening, and they asked me to, invite folks out from 10 to 4 for the Art of Low Riding. It'll be the second exhibit there at Front Street at the Automobile Museum. And finally, save the date on Cesar Chavez Day, Thursday. We're going to have Literacy is Key, an event we're doing with the Community Resource Project, where we're going to be giving out 4,000 books by our local author, KCRA, also journalist Leticia Ordaz, and they're going to be reading one of my son Javier's favorite books, The Adventures of Mr. Macaw. And so we encourage people to come out, participate. We're going to be out there with the Capital Optimist Club, also the Lions Club as well. People out there encouraging people to read, the Friends of the Library, the Literacy Foundation, everybody getting the word out at Rainbow Park. Forgot to mention, it's at Rainbow Park. So I encourage folks to come out on Cesar Chavez Day for Literacy is Key. With that, Mr. Mayor, a lot going on outside here, and we hope the weather sticks with us.
Yep, absolutely. It's a long list of really good events. Good to know people are all getting back together. It's wonderful. Councilmember Laloe, Councilmember Harris, and the City Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. This past Saturday at 8:33 in the morning was our first day of spring, which is also the new year for the Iranian community and the Afghan community, not only here, but around the world. So I want to wish everyone a very happy new year and a happy Nowruz. And that's it. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Happy New Year to the entire community. Councilmember Laloe. Councilman Harris.
Yeah, Mayor, a lot of people don't know this, but my chief of staff, David Gonzalez, used to work for Vic Fazio. And when he reminds me of that, I tell him he's as old as dirt, but then I realize I'm a lot older than David. So I'm going to have to change my rhetoric and just say he's experienced as dirt. Anyway, yeah, David's great. He's worked for many people in the legislature and city. I'm really pleased to have him. Mary, you're talking about opening up and people getting together. This year, we will not have the opening day of Little League Parade on Northgate because they had some difficulties with the Little League, but we are planning a parade for Cinco de Mayo, so very excited about that. We will have a Northgate parade this year, very happy about it. And as well, we will have a celebration later in the year for Dia de los Muertos, which we did last year with great success. So really pleased that those are coming and more details to be released. Lastly, I have an ask for the city manager. We heard comments today about leaf blowers and the nuisance that they are. As you know, we passed an ordinance, well, almost 2 years ago now, restricting the use of leaf blowers on poor air quality days. I still get an awful lot of comments about the use of leaf blowers when the AQI is above 100. So, Mr. City Manager, if you could just have Peter Lemos come and give us a touch up on how the ordinance is working, how they enforce, how we're doing with the education program, which we promised at the outset that we would not just punish people for using leaf blowers, but try to educate them on when it is and is not appropriate to use them. I think our constituents would really like to hear about the ordinance. So just a report back. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilman Barris. And last but not least, our city manager, Howard Chin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for indulging me. I'll be brief. As you know, there's been this ongoing saga with Mr. Lambert Davis with accusations of wrongdoing by our office, by my office, related to federal funds and the distribution thereof. So rather than kind of do the back and forth, I'm going to be sending you the application he submitted as part of the CRF and ARP funding, and you all judge for yourself whether or not that application was worthy of any funding. Having said that, we still endeavor to get some funds into his possession so that he can withstand the pandemic like the rest of the small businesses. But I will not sit by and be disparaged by Mr. Davis any longer. So you will be getting the actual application he submitted, and it is severely lacking as compared to the almost 100 applications we got within the first round of funding. So thank you. Thank you for indulging me.
Thank you, City Manager. All right. So in memory of, I just want to get the other name right that Vice Mayor Ashby had mentioned here. In memory of John Dexter and in memory of Congressman Vic Fazio, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.